Welcome movie lovers. Today I'll be reviewing My Friend Dahmer. My Friend Dahmer is a 2017 American biographical drama film written and directed by Mark Myers, based on the 2012 graphic novel of the same name by John Durf Backdurf. The film follows a young Jeffrey Dahmer as he struggles to belong in high school. For a very long time, I've had a fascination with serial killers, watching documentaries, biographies, movies, and shows on the subject. Not because I admire them, not even close, but because I can't comprehend being someone who takes enjoyment from the pain and suffering of others or taking a life. Basically, I find them fascinating because they are a way of being and thinking that I can never relate to. Suffice to say, I've watched plenty of documentary on notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, so I was looking forward to seeing this movie, but having now seen it, it saddens me to say how incredibly dull the film is. Now, it's not all bad. Ross Lynch, who plays a teenage Jeffrey Dahmer, completely blew me away with a phenomenal performance. This actor has an Oscar somewhere in his future, maybe not anytime soon, but it'll happen one day. I've seen a great deal of real-life footage of Dahmer, how he looked in high school and how he talked and conducted himself, and Lynch nailed him to a T. He was Dahmer. He had the posture, the look, the apathetic, lethargic demeanor that is quintessential Dahmer. He had it all. It was almost scary how accurately he sold the performance. It was as though Dahmer got reincarnated. Just an exceptional performance that still has me in awe. The story for the most part is rather accurate to Dahmer's real life story during that period of his life, but this wasn't the part of his life where citizens needed to live in fear. This was the part of his life where he's coming to terms with and trying to understand his sexuality, his desires, his impulses, and his less than normal fantasies. All of this is happening while he's also trying to deal with the natural stresses of high school on top of a dysfunctional family. While much of this is relatable, the way in which the story is told is painfully dull. Every moment of the film feels unnecessarily drawn out and lacking an engaging tone. The tone of the film was almost as apathetic as Dahmer. While it is fitting of the character, it does make watching it as a viewer somewhat unenjoyable. There isn't anything to grab and hold the audience's attention. It really is just a day in the life of Jeffrey Dahmer type of vibe, and at this time his life wasn't very interesting. The other standout performance was Anne Heche, who portrays Joyce Dahmer, Jeffrey's highly unstable mother. Now, Heche really sells the performance, but at the expense of our lead character. While having her on screen helps bring emphasis to the deep question of nature or nurture, since as you're watching the environment in which Dahmer grew up in, you begin to ask yourself, was he born the way he was? Was he always going to be a serial killer, or were the events in his childhood and his upbringing a large contributing factor, and if those things had been changed, might his future have been different? So for all that, her character is vital, but she is such a scene stealer, and not in a good way, that when she is around, you completely forget that Jeffrey even exists. And you almost think it's a story about a mentally unstable mother. Perhaps this was done deliberately as to reflect how Dahmer felt in his own household. To that I cannot say, but as a viewer I found it rather distracting, and it just became an annoying sound in the background that I didn't wish to hear. Overall, this is a film with an interesting subject matter that very clearly asks one of the deepest and most profound questions ever asked on the subject of serial killers, and it has a knockout lead performance that is out of this world good, but it fails to really bring those things to the forefront, as they are sadly overshadowed by an underwhelming plot and slow pace that may very well be the cure for insomnia. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, you know the drill. If you're not already, please subscribe. Actually, if you're not subscribed to this channel, you wouldn't know that drill. So please subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever, or not, you know, up to you. Be sure to look for future content. Until next time, bye.
Once that you've decided on a killing, first you make a stone of your heart. And if you find that your hands are still willing, then you can turn